All right, welcome to episode 149 of Those Millennials podcast. Today I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful, always thankful host, K the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Rail's here. Rail, how you doing? How you feeling? How's your pockets? How's your mental health?
What you mean?
And his making his triumphant return. Jesse's here. How you doing? How's your pockets? How's your
Off of
mental health?
suspension.
The job suspension?
That he was suspended.
The job
Oh,
suspension.
I just want to say that the gun wasn't mine. I take full responsibility of all my actions.
We will get into that.
Just let you know here, those millennials, if anybody posts a gun, it's going to be more than 8 episodes.
I understand that
anybody post a gun on this crew, you get more than 8 episodes, and that's coming from the top.
That's crazy.
I understand that I'm a role model and want to look after me. So, thank you to those millennials for keeping up the cover up that I was in a show rehearsing, and I was actually suspended because you can't pull things out on camera no more.
All right,
but I wasn't pulling out a gun.
We starting off right. As always, please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. For those who are listening on Apple, please leave a review. I don't ask you guys to leave reviews. Please leave a review, leave 5 stars. I don't have Spotify. I don't know how the Spotify is. It the same system, Real? That
you gotta listen to like a few episodes before you can review.
Okay, so on Spotify, you
go
gotta
ahead
listen to a few episodes.
Go ahead and leave a 5 stars. Give us
leave
a nice
5 stars over there as well. Please help the algorithm, feed the algorithms, and those on YouTube. We appreciate you guys commenting and leaving likes as well. But keep that up. We appreciate you guys. If you don't leave
5 stars, keep that energy to yourself. Keep that poor energy to yourself.
Straight up. So yeah, Jesse hit on it. So we're gonna talk Ja interview with Jalen Rose. We're gonna
wait. Ja had an interview.
Yes, he did. We're gonna talk Dame Oldman 3. We're gonna talk NFL free agency. We're also gonna talk Last of Us season finale. But first, I want to give Rel the room because Rel was at an event today. So Rel, talk about what you was doing at the link and what was you up to today? March Madness, by the way. I forgot to mention this.
It was the kickoff of March Madness. I was with Cousin Sal at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club.
Do people know who Cousin Sal is, though?
Yeah, I was going to tell them who Cousin Sal is. Cousin Sal, if you listen to the Bill Simmons podcast, he's a regular on there. He's related to Jimmy Kimmel. He's actually Jimmy Kimmel's cousin. That's why they call him Cousin Sal. And he used to write jokes for the Jimmy Kimmel show, but now he does regular on just pretty much like podcasts. Like he does a gambling podcast, which the one I was there for. It's called Against All Odds, and then he does Sundays with Bill Simmons pretty much all throughout the NFL season. So, I mean, but cool dude. You know, he's prominent, like I said, in this podcasting game. You know, and he's a big time bettor. So we were
it's an understatement. Man bets on the most randomest stuff ever, but continue.
Yeah, see, it's my goal. He's my goal. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
He's my goal. But my life is I always say my life is kind of like uncut gems. Like that's how it's going.
You're gonna go out like uncut gems? Please don't.
Adam Sandler paid the money. That dude just had a bad attitude. Adam Sandler paid the money at the end of that movie.
Uncut gems. Uncut gems.
Adam, but that move. But I was saying I was Cousin Sal, cool dude. Met him Against All Odds podcast. He was talking about gambling. We did Race to 10 today, where we bet every game the first team to score 10 points. So every game we were betting. We pick a team before, and if they scored 10 points, we all got $10. We did like 14. We hit 14 to 16. Just overall, just a super cool dude. Shout out to the Extra Points and again the Omaha Productions. Like they were cool. They provided like drinks and shit there. I was twisted, So
it's always a good time when Rail's twisted.
I was day drinking, gambling, and watching college basketball and gambling, but I lost my shit today. But here's the thing about gambling: you can wake up and you can gamble tomorrow. Here's the thing. I got 3 plays for you tomorrow that I really like.
Here we go.
tomorrow we're going with VCU +4. Buy a couple points if you need to. VCU is really good.
Who are they playing?
VCU's playing St. Mary's tomorrow.
Okay, keep going.
So also, this is my upset special. I like UC Santa Barbara +11 and sprinkle a little on the money line for first Baylor. I'm telling you, this UC Santa Barbara, they've been playing over their heads. They're one of the better three-point shooting teams in college basketball this year. So UC Santa Barbara +11, just sprinkle a little on the money line. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And also, as I'm wearing the shirt today, as we're supporting the boys tomorrow, I'm going USC money line +120. It is a steal. USC shouldn't be a dog. Michigan State is ass. I don't trust Tom Izzo's team this year. They don't have any really good players or anybody going to the NBA. They don't have any of them dudes. At least USC got a couple dudes this year, and hopefully they got Bronny next year. Maybe Bronny next year. USC.
Not UCLA.
No, he's not even considered UCLA.
Okay.
But USR. So those are my three plays: UC Santa Barbara, USC, and VCU. However you want to money line them, it's cool, but it's all underdogs. I like those. I hit Furman today. Furman would, but before Princeton upset Arizona.
That was the biggest one, yeah.
But I lost everything on Arizona, so kind of everything. I'm back at ground zero because I had them for a futures bet and a regional bet. I had Arizona winning the region and going to the Final Four. So,
wow, you had Arizona going all the way to the Final Four?
I like the team. I like the depth.
Yeah, Arizona fucked my shit up.
I
didn't even do a bracket this year. I'm actually proud of myself.
Look, man, I'll just say this about this year. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. Don't know what's going on, but the NCAA just did not put any like true energy into the tournament.
Promoting?
I don't even know if it's promoting. I think they just expect it to do what it always does every year. And
it's not their fault. I mean, I think what you're seeing is based off is what's going on. I mean, you got 5 players going to be picked in the top 6. That's not going to come from a college. This upcoming season, you got overtime elite got 2 top 5 players. You got Scoot Henderson in G League. You got Victor Wembanyama. So that's the thing, though, that there's no stars in college basketball now. So now in college, it's like if you there, you kind of got to be there.
I would say it's not really. I mean, obviously, yes, you have star players and play, but the one thing they've always done was be able to just create a story. And I don't think they create a story. Like,
I mean, the best player and the best team kind of was with a murder charge.
I mean, well,
not kind of, but okay.
I mean, he had nothing to do with the murder. He had nothing to do with the murder.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, semantics. Depending on what state you live in, he had nothing to do with the murder.
Nicely put.
I will say this. He had nothing to do with the actions that happened, but he definitely, depending on what state you're in. But anyways, what I was
I'm just reading off what the report says.
No, you're right. He didn't. What we would say is he was not charged.
I'm just reading.
No, he was not charged.
He was not charged.
Yeah,
he
was
not charged with anything.
So I'm just gonna make sure I put that out there.
That's all I said. That's what I say. Depending on the state you live in, he was not charged.
Why you got to see? I don't even like that. I'm reading it off the actual report, Jesse. You're saying about the state he lives in.
Jesse, Darrell, why are you making this thing? Come on, man. Stop making this thing.
There's nothing to stand for.
Because I don't like
why are you guys like, no, it's really and this is nothing to laugh at. This is
no. We're not. I'm laughing at you two. I'm laughing at you two. I'm not because somebody died. So this is not a laughing matter. I'm laughing at these 2 idiots.
I caught myself giggling. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the just to me. And depending on the state you live in, what he did is considered different things. That's all I would say. That being said, moving on. No, but what I was truly going to say is I don't think it really has to do with the top players. not being in. I mean, we had top players. No matter what, I would say is Duke made a star out of JJ Redick. JJ Redick, it wasn't a top 5 pick. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to say is it's really not about the players. It's about now these schools is like everybody's at the same level now. There is no bad guy. There is no Duke that because Coach K, because I was gonna say Calipari, but Calipari, Coach K, Patino's over here at some school that nobody really knows, but he got him to the NCAA tournament. These big name schools, Georgetown doesn't have a good team. They had to get rid of their coach again.
Yeah, definitely the level. The level. So it's not as interesting as it is before.
Because those guys, for the longest, no matter what, the players are gonna go. But what kept them going is the coach and the philosophy and the energy that and what kind of team they were. Duke was considered the preppy team. North Carolina is considered the cool team. Georgetown is considered another team, the tough team. The Villanova.
But Jesse, what I'm saying is nobody's going to school anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, regardless of the players.
The average 17-year-old don't give a fuck about Duke, North Carolina. He probably cares more about the G League and Scoot Henderson now.
I mean, I would say yes, but I'm pretty sure a lot of players would know not all of us is going to college. You still can build a story. You can still. What I'm trying to say is these programs no longer have Duke not having Coach K anymore is a big deal because Coach K was the brand, not the player. It was the coach that was the brand. Right. And created the system, created Duke. He built Duke. Right. The same thing, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So now,
when the coach is bigger, is bigger than the program, bigger than the actual program,
and that's college. College is coaches is bigger than the program.
I don't even know.
But that doesn't fall in for every, like you said, that doesn't go for every program.
Because Coach K, because there's life after all of them. But go ahead, Kim. Let's move on.
All right. So we're gonna hit on NFL real quick. There was a lot of moves, obviously. I know.
I thought you'd do a not list.
Oh, see, thank you. See, I forgot about my not list. I always forget to do the stuff for not list. All right. So, just as Jarrell just said, I'm going to start with not list. And for those who are new here, the not list is a compiled list of stuff that we are not talking about, but it's actually a list of a way for us to talk about stuff that we're not going to talk about. All right. So, starting up, this is easy. We are not talking about anything Oscars related because we just aren't, even though Jesse's here and he probably could have a lot to say about Oscars. We are not talking Oscars. None. Zero. No Oscar topics.
I truly have nothing to say about that.
I don't know.
I went to an Oscar party. The museum has an Oscar party. I work at, for anybody that don't know, I work at
on the Oscars.
The Academy Museums of Motion Pictures. Basically the Oscars museum, and they threw a party there. What do I have to say about the Oscars? I didn't watch much of it. Congratulations to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's it.
I haven't seen the movie yet, and Same. It sucks that Angela Bassett didn't get the award.
The only thing, I agree. But I will say this from everything that I've heard and read. Why can't I think of her name? What's her name? Who won the Halloween?
Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis won. And one of my podcasts was trying to argue for Jamie Lee Curtis, like she's a legend, and they was like, "What is she a legend from? From the Halloween movies?" They was like, "Nah, she's done other movies now," and they literally went down her discog, and it was like, "Nah, literally, she's known for doing 7 Halloween movies." Anyway, no shade, no disrespect, Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is great.
Here's my problem with that argument. Angela Bassett is a legend as well.
Yeah.
Nominated.
No. That's
what I'm trying to say is against their argument, not your argument. I'm not saying you're saying that. Their argument is, yes, we could all argue This wasn't Angela Bassett's best performance.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying.
Jamie Lee Curtis's best performance. But if we're lining them up, if we're giving them,
it was probably Jamie Lee's best performance.
If we're giving them this idea, if we're giving the idea of lifetime achievement awards,
we should have gave it to
Angela Bassett's lifetime. It's kind of deserving of a lifetime achievement award as well.
I mean, Jesse, that goes without saying. We don't even have to spend time on that.
What I'm trying to say is all the arguments that people are trying to make for Jamie Lee Curtis is like that was what was working for everything for Angela Bassett as well. My true issue was this. Everybody I ever talked to about that movie, Jamie Lee Curtis is never mentioned. Like, I didn't know Jamie Lee Curtis was in the movie. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. Everybody said the girl, I don't know if y'all saw the movie, but
I know Rose.
They say the girl that plays her daughter, it deserved, like, her performance was amazing. So it was like
Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't even the focal point of the movie.
Yeah, and that's why people are. I didn't know she's in the movie. I'm not knocking her in any way, fashion, or form. I'm just saying it. And then I'll also say this: with all the award, circuits, Jamie Lee Curtis did not win not one of them. And it's like one of those things where it's like those give you an indicator of who's gonna win, who's the favorite, who's pulling in front. You know what I mean? Like Angela Bassett jumped out to a big lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we're gonna compare it to like Oscar, like but MVP voting, right? Angela Bassett jumped out to a big lead, and then the girl from Everything Everywhere at Once, All at Once, not Jamie Lee Curtis, but the girl that played daughter, she started to gain momentum, and then the woman from Banshees of Inisherin, I wish I could remember all these names right now.
I know.
I really can't.
You're doing a really bad job right now.
But it's like she won BAFTA. So then everybody was like, oh, I think it's going to go to her. And then so it was like nobody was talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. That's why there's a shock. To me, that's where I have like the issue, because then it really becomes like there is no true like metric to this. And like, we can talk about, look, we're honoring people doing art and winning millions of dollars. I mean, they make millions. Why are we making a big deal out of this? Sure. But if I just feel like if we're going to say these things are an indicator, then it's like leading up to the Oscars, it's kind of like the person that was the least mentioned somehow wins, raises eyebrows.
All right.
That's what I would say.
Okay. All right. Number 2, or no? Did I do number 2 already? Number 3 on the not list. Drake and 21 Savage. It was all a blur. I did 2, right?
What was number 1?
I did Oscars. Right? No, that was number 2. I mean, yeah. So I'm on number 2. So Drake and 21 Savage, I have it in this weird order because one of these I don't even want to mention. Drake and 21 Savage, it's all a blur tour. The people are complaining about the prices. I seen some people saying that some seats are going for $1,000. But bro, I looked. I saw tickets out here in Vegas for September 1st for like $400. I mean, that's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I would say like, I paid like $250 for like Drake and Aubrey and the Three Amigos when he did his last tour with the big cell phone with I was unfortunate that was the last time the Amigos did a tour together. But I don't know, like the prices weren't that same, and he did 2 more albums since then. Like I wasn't gonna pay $400. Like, and now that I see it's $400 just for Drake, like I'm not paying that, because I didn't pay that much for Kendrick and I didn't pay that much for Cole. I'm not paying that much for Drake. $400 is a lot. Like that's a lot. And for his thing about Drake, he's not a visual art performer. Like he kind of just comes out and raps, and then the whole thing is like, and I don't know how this show gonna go, but then he goes through his smorgasbords of hits, and then like it's just a snippet, and it's not, don't get really in depth. Like when I saw Kendrick, he gave you all 3 verses. When I saw Cole, he gave me the whole song.
Well, I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but
I'm just saying, like, that's my issue. But like from the last time when I saw
well,
Drake,
all those shows that you just mentioned, they just had one act. This is with 21 Savage, who they did an album together. So that's another reason why the price would be what the price is.
even if 21 went on, but 21 went on tour with J. Cole. So it's like, is it that much?
Yeah, but he didn't do an album. He didn't do an album. He didn't do an album with Cole.
That don't really matter.
Yeah, $400 fucking ticket price. I didn't pay that much for Nas at the Garden.
I don't think that really matters.
I think it does. I
paid $275 for Nas at the Garden.
I think they're just literally charging $400.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
look,
Me too. Yeah, it doesn't. Make
especially,
and it was the 400 was nosebleed, so like don't even take 400 to account. It's definitely more, but
yeah,
the 400 was nosebleeds.
I will say this: these, and I don't know, we can say the artist, because a lot, they are knowing right now that they could price these tickets at anything, and Ticketmaster's doing this with this whole like. It's actually going to like the government's getting involved with what Ticketmaster is doing with this shit. But I
saw some people taking screenshots of the fees and stuff.
I think a lot of these, I do truly believe that not to knock her, but I think Beyonce sets the market and people try to get as close.
That makes sense.
Try to get as close as they can to that market. Now, does everybody deserve that? No. I would say Drake is close. I don't really think it has to do with them doing a joint album. I don't, because no matter what, 21 Savage, no disrespect to him, but he's not commanding that type of.
He's not.
Do you think so? You think? Look, I'm not knocking 21 Savage. 21 Savage.
I just think all.
But Drake is the name. Drake is the one that's making it $400.
There's no argument there. But all I'm saying is, I think all live music right now is up. I think artists right now are.
It's all inflated.
They see that they're getting fucked with streaming, and now they know that how they get their money is with live performances, and it's a privilege. They always know, and it's a privilege to do live performances in a tour of this magnitude, where you just came off of a successful album. And again, we don't think of 21 at that caliber, but a lot of people do. He is a Grammy-winning artist. That's why I think it's different.
I don't disagree with that. I just say if it's 21 by himself, I don't think I think 400 is.
If it's 21 by himself, he's not even getting he's not doing the TV.
I'm not arguing that, but it's 21.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why the price is the price.
What that's what's making it. Drake does that by himself is what I'm trying to say. Is like, and 21 enhances that, but I'm like Drake. Drake does that. Drake could still charge that by himself, and people will buy the tickets.
Sure.
I do agree with you 100%. Like, first and foremost, it's not even these tickets are inflated, but it's also like they're trying to make up for 2020. Everybody's trying to make up for 2020. There was a lot of money lost, and I wouldn't say yes, Drake was fine and 21 Savage was fine, but if I can make more money off of that and double up off of that, they're gonna do it, and people are gonna buy it. The only way here's what's gonna stop them from doing it: don't buy the tickets.
Basically,
that's it.
All right,
which is not gonna happen.
All right, so now I'm on number 3, right? So this
is
number 3 on that list. Amazon to release a 4-part docu-series on J.R. Smith, produced by LeBron James and Maverick Carter. We can just move on.
Yeah. Okay. Is it about him going back to college?
I don't know. I didn't do that deep of a deep dive.
Look, no knock to him. I just wonder what it's going to be about. That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Still talking about docs. Quick question: what's the difference between doc and miniseries? I feel like they're the same thing.
You mean wait, no. Are you talking about like
what's the difference between a documentary and a miniseries that's portraying events that happen, like true events that happen?
Well, a miniseries, and the difference between a documentary and a miniseries, beyond the biggest factors, one is actors portraying these characters. A miniseries takes liberties, so a miniseries will fill in gaps. That's why it's always based on a true story, taken from true events.
Got you.
You can't say, hey, all right, well, let's do the OJ versus the people. You can't sit there and say OJ said this in this conversation. They're filling in gaps. You know what I mean? I'll give the most simplest example of that. And OJ versus the people. Remember Robert Kardashian's with his meeting up with his family, and they're all out there, and there was a young Kim K, and they were just, all I care about is being famous. That's the most important thing, is being famous. It was so on the nose of what she is currently that it was there's no way that that girl was talking like that. And you could say maybe it was, but it's she wasn't saying words exactly like that. So a miniseries fills in. They have creative liberties, and to dramatize it.
Gotcha.
So a documentary, what it's supposed to do is just basic
be journalistic and be
journalistic
the image of
research and fact.
Gotcha.
And then try to get you to understand. Now, do documentaries skew a certain way for you to? Does it skew a certain way? Does it direct you towards a certain way? Yes. It's supposed to have this viewpoint. It has a viewpoint that you are supposed to come away with this. You know what I mean? But it's off of facts or research fact to support it. Some documentaries are just straight, facts and telling the story. The Madoff documentary, it's coming from the viewpoints of, all right, what a Madoff did, and then it's also coming from viewpoints of victims. You do a mini series on that, it will probably have telling the story of the victims that are one of the victims is a main character, and they would probably put him in. He came into Madoff's office one day and, what did you do with my money? And that's not true. You know what I mean? That's just that's done for dramatizing. So.
All right, so let me get to this one. Miniseries. So FX is going to air a miniseries about Donald Sterling, the Clippers owner.
Did you see that cast?
That cast is so fucking terrible.
Yeah, the pictures of the cast is funny.
Don't disrespect Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne looked crazy.
But the rest of them,
the dude that played Blake Griffin should never. I don't even know nobody's name.
We can move on, but yeah, that shit's gonna be a comedy.
Also, Lawrence Fishburne isn't Lawrence Fishburne way older than Doc?
Look,
I feel like Lawrence Fishburne is way older,
way bigger. Look, man, this is they're not. It's not gonna be. Look, we're just gonna watch it and we're gonna enjoy it for what it is. You know how we're and then we can move on. I want to spend so much time on this, but how we feel like we getting. I feel like how we getting old is that they're making docuseries about shit that we actually lived. So it's we getting old now. It's a wrap for us.
I mean, they've been doing it for a while.
They've been doing it for a while now. It's I remember that. But
here's what I feel like when they're doing this one. It's versus there's still so much shit they could pick from the 90s, but it's we want. They know people are familiar with this. It's just for me. This was just too early. Yeah. It's just way too early, but
shout out to Ramona Shelburne. She's been working on it for the longest time. She's a producer in it, so I think it's going to be really good. All right, so number 5, I have 6.
It's going to be really good.
I think it's going to be entertaining. That's the right word, I should say.
Well, I will say this: it won't do basketball. It's really going to be a focus on behind the scenes.
Thank you.
It's really going to be a focus on that.
Please, don't, I don't even want to see dribbling. All right, all right. So number 5, the This just hit this hit like literally an hour or two ago. ESPN sources Adrian Wojnarowski announced that Charlotte Hornets owner Michael Jeffrey Jordan is engaged in serious talks to sell majority stake in the franchise to a group led by Hornets majority owner Gabe Palicka.
Minority owner.
Yeah. So this is very interesting. This is probably gonna be a bigger story, but this just literally happened around the wire right now. And hold on, I have some numbers. So Michael Jordan originally, when he bought the Charlotte Hornets franchise, he paid $180 million for the team in 2010. The franchise now is worth $1.77 billion. So he's gonna come up. That's crazy. Like Hornet to me, this is like one of the least attractive franchises, and it's almost worth $2 billion. So that's fucking crazy. So, shout out to old Red Eyes. All right, so number 6, and the last one on the not list. This one just recently hit too, and I think this is I think this is a big W. DJ Drama just said in an interview, Lil Wayne's Dedication 2 will be on streaming platforms this year with bonus tracks. I think that's fire. Dedication 2 is like literally like a legendary mixtape. Now all we need is Friday Night Lights, Cole. I think this is hard. I can't wait for this to happen. I can't. I hate when I have to go to that piff and to listen to music and shit. I think this is so cool. I think more artists, bigger artists who can afford to do this and find a way to do this should try to put their music that they put on that mixtape shit.
I don't think it has anything to really do with.
Yeah, it has to do with getting shit clear. It's a lot of that. That's what I'm saying. So it's a lot of talking to a whole bunch of people getting shit clear. So I think it's a lot of that. That's what I'm saying. You just got to do the legwork. I mean, I feel like if Cole wanted to, he just got to talk to the right people to get shit cleared. In my opinion, it might be different. I mean, it might be harder.
No, I mean, it all depends on which song.
It all depends on which song. 100%. All right, so done with not list. All right, so we're gonna try to make. I want to generalize this for the NFL because there were so many picks. A lot of stuff happened. Players were picked up. We're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to get signed by the Jets, even though he went on the Pat McAfee show and basically said, "I'm basically feel like I'm a Jet," and he still has been traded because Green Bay is waiting on the first round pick instead of a third round. Anyway, so out of everything that's happened in the last 3 days during free agency, what was the picks that stood out to you, Rel? What was the releases that stood out to you? I know one that stood out to you that we talked about. And yeah, so like what team got better? Yeah, so just like your general synopsis of what you thought of NFL free agency so far.
I would say, I think probably. I think what's going on with Philly's kind of been interesting. They've been losing a lot of players. But I think overall this Aaron situation is interesting because, like I told you on the phone, it's like never is at the point in time in this league has 2 MVPs in recent years have been available, and maybe a third if you can call the Titans and see what they talking about Derrick Henry. Because you got Lamar Jackson that pretty much can be had because of the kooky money that's going on, the collusion. And then
he's going to be had, all right.
Yeah, and you got Aaron Rodgers, possibly going to the Jets. So I just think overall, I just think that the Jets, this Jets situation, it's good. The defense is good. I mean, I don't know how good they're going to be in that division. So,
hey, Kev,
yeah.
You got a little, like, I think it's cobwebs on there.
Sorry, man. Had to dust it off. Had to dust it off.
You wanted that.
Keep going, dog. Keep going. Keep going, Real.
Keep going, Real. Sorry, I was trying to help him out.
But overall, I just think the situation with the Jets is pretty interesting. If Aaron Rodgers can go there, I would say this: they're going to be good, but I don't know if it's anything better than he already had, because I don't think Garrett Wilson at his best is better than Devontae in his prime. He's good, but he's not better than Devontae.
We don't know. We
know. I can tell you now. I can tell you right now, Garrett Wilson's not better than Devontae.
from what everybody says, Garrett Wilson is that dude. Like,
no, he's good. He's good. But
so
Jesse, we're talking about Devontae having the best receiver in football right now. Like,
I know, I agree.
It's either Devontae, Jamar, or Justin. So it's one of those three.
I agree. But I don't think he needs him to be.
No, but what I'm saying is that he's had prime weapons before, and like everybody's saying, like Green Bay didn't give him shit. Like he's had weapons, like he's bringing over Alan Lazard for 22 million guaranteed. It's like, well, Alan Lazard was just in the same situation. So it's like the difference in this Jets offense is gonna be Breece Hall, but Aaron Jones is better than Breece Hall. So it's like, I mean,
I don't know.
Breece Hall had 1 year. Breece Hall just had 1 year and just tore his ACL. Aaron Jones is all pro every damn year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but Breece Hall was
a rookie that just tore his ACL, coming off of ACL, is better than Aaron Jones.
I'm talking. I'm genuinely talking about before the ACL injury. I don't think he was
exactly. But
I think Breece Hall was playing better.
But here's the thing, though. Like I'm just saying, is it that much better? Is the grass that much greener? It isn't.
Well,
it's the same shit.
I mean, the part that's going to make it that much greener is, number one, he's going to have a coordinator that is going to acquiesce to what he wants. I think that became an issue with Green Bay. I don't think he got along with the coach. Oh. I don't think he got along with his coach. I think it was like clear as day he did not get along with his coach. I don't think he agreed with a lot of what his coach was doing. But he's also, Aaron Rodgers is also an asshole, so he probably just thought he was smarter than him. I
don't feel like that's been said enough.
I mean, look, there's good assholes, there's bad assholes. It's just, it's all about how you go about it. I think when you sit there and I don't need to go into that. But
right. So for you, Jesse, I'm gonna let you finish your point, but what also, so you can just continue, what in free agency that you like and you didn't like, who do you think got better?
I didn't like Cincinnati getting Orlando Brown. Shit,
I saw that. Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Just making that old line better. Joe Burrow's not gonna get touched, boy. It's gonna be, his jersey gonna be clean all year, boy.
I did not like seeing that.
Clean jersey all year.
I mean, is it interesting? The Aaron Rodgers thing doesn't necessarily.
It's the biggest thing, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily interest me.
I just think it's funny. Real didn't bring up Zeke getting cut, but it's cool. Keep going.
We all knew Zeke was getting cut, though. I don't think that was.
Sucks. What
all of a sudden, but you was hurt. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He played for
Don't do that.
Did you read what I said? I said it had to happen.
It had to happen.
Yeah,
but why would you still hurt? But why would you still hurt if it had to happen?
Kev, Raul's been shitting on Zeke for a few years.
I know. That's true. I know, but he was acting like he was hurt, though. Why was you hurt?
Because he played for his team.
He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he played for his team.
All right, okay.
I understand what Raul was doing.
He's one of my favorite. I would say Zeke went down as one of my favorite Cowboys when those 3 years that he was healthy and he was in his prime. Before he got paid, and I wanted him to get paid, but he got overpaid. And the whole thing is how NFL, there's two NFLs. There's the NFL on the field and there's the NFL market. So, like, your favorite player at running back, he may not be there much longer. The average age of running back now is down to 28. Look at what happened with Todd Gurley. He's not even fucking 30, and he's out the league already. And he was damn near MVP. So it hurts me to see that decline fall off.
I mean, look at Kev. Jonathan Taylor, there's already
Don't do that.
Everybody already starting to be like, is he going down? I'm not doing that. It just, to me, it just genuinely sucks that running backs don't last. It's weird. But
he ran for 18 years. That's what I remember. Keep going. LaDainian Tomlinson was a little monster. Anyway,
but what I would say is, like, the Aaron Rodgers thing don't really interest me. if he goes to the Jets, it's gonna be tough on for my team. They in the same division.
No, that's gonna be the best. I mean, y'all division's already cool. No Miami. Nothing. Nobody said nothing about Miami. Miami looks like they really good. No words on Miami.
I mean, we gotta see them.
Ramsey got cooked last year.
I'm
not just talking about Ramsey. Didn't they do some other things too?
Nah.
Tua's still a quarterback, and I don't know.
I don't think there's anything that really look. Are they good? Yes, their coach is a great offensive mind. Tua, when he's healthy, he balled, but I think what people were missing, or I think San Francisco kind of exposed them a little bit on if he could fix that, which is if you take away that quick throw from him, he kind of he can't switch because he doesn't have time. But it is what it is. They're going to be a hard team to beat. It's going to be a hard division, and Aaron Rodgers coming in doesn't help. I don't think it really depends on what the Jets have to give up to get him, which it may hurt that defense. If I was the Packers, I'm coming for that defense. I'm coming for defensive players. But what most likely will happen is they'll just take picks from him. But I would come for a defensive player. But
yeah,
the Jets will be really good. And here's my thing, though. They will only be good for 1 or 2 years. We're really expecting Aaron Rodgers to stay at this high level. Cole, he doesn't really play well in cold weather. It's as long as he's been playing in Green Bay, he doesn't really play well in cold weather. And so
unless he's playing Chicago.
But even then, there was times when Chicago got that ass. But he
got that ass a little more.
I just hated this whole darkness retreat when he was just doing a bunch of cocaine in the forest.
Here we go.
Here's my thing.
I can't even say allegedly. That's Rel saying that for some strange reason.
Look, I'll say this: Aaron Rodgers is it's funny because if a black wide receiver was doing this, they would call him a super diva. Aaron Rodgers is a diva. I will also say
a wide receiver can't do this under no circumstances. You're a wide receiver, bro.
I know. But a quarterback shouldn't be able to. We shouldn't be hearing about a quarterback going to a darkness retreat. What is what I'm trying to say? We do it doesn't need to be telling. Now they're reporting.
I'm just saying, quarterbacks are just them dudes.
Not really.
Daniel Jones getting $40 million.
What I'm trying to say is not that they're just them dudes. It's one of these things where it's just you could be a boring quarterback. You can be Daniel Jones. We don't know what the fuck Daniel Jones is doing right now. Or you can be Aaron Rodgers and you put out all this stuff and you're doing all these things.
The market is so meatball dry. That shit is like Derek Carr is getting $150 million at this stage of his career.
And he's the most average quarterback in the game.
He's the definition of mid. So all I'm saying is that quarterbacks. The reason why quarterbacks move with this certain kind of bravado, and the reason why we get this quote unquote this boy. Aaron Rodgers is kind of like the movie star quarterback, like how you would see remember the show? I don't know if y'all remember when ESPN had playmakers out, he's just that guy where how you imagine the quarterback to be this quirky guy, but he can be that guy because it ain't.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. What I'm really just saying is it's really not even about Aaron Rodgers per se. It's this idea that they have to tell, everything is news with Aaron Rodgers. Everything isn't news with Aaron Rodgers.
That's the media.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say is when I say we don't need to know about his darkness retreat, it's one of those, he went on Pat McAfee and said, I'm going to go on a darkness retreat and I really think about football. And that's the same thing as any other quarterback saying, I'm going to go home, take some time off, and relax. Aaron Rodgers just doesn't have kids to go home to, a wife to go home to sit with his family. So he goes on darkness retreats. You know what I mean? He goes and does ayahuasca. And so they make these stories out of it. When I talk about Aaron Rodgers is he makes the choice to have it out there. Like he wants it out there too. So that's why I'm like, if a wide receiver was doing all this,
I mean, that's the reason why he goes on the Pat McAfee show weekly. You know what I mean? He's controlling his own narrative. It's
honestly
actually smart.
It's honestly, yeah,
it's smart.
It's smart, but it's also like it very much exposes him too.
Sure.
But I will say this: I could go as Lamar Jackson couldn't do all this. Like, and I said a wide receiver. We can say what we want. Lamar Jackson has been They have tried to throw. Lamar Jackson hasn't really talked, but everything we keep hearing about Lamar Jackson of all these stories, he turned down this amount of money. He doesn't have an agent. He needs this. He has to, like, everything has been like, and he just sits in quiet. And all Lamar Jackson just says, I have a number. Meet the number. That's it. But I think the more interesting thing to me is Lamar Jackson and what happens next. That's the more interesting one.
So Jesse just did the nail on it. So for me, the most interesting thing and happiest thing that happened to me is a release. I celebrated when the Colts released Matt Ryan. I thought what took so long? Why did you guys do it gracefully?
Oh wait, they don't have picks because they traded for.
We traded the first round pick for Carson Wentz. Yeah, that I would never forgive. I would never forgive him for that.
What did y'all trade for Matt Ryan?
I don't care right now, Jesse.
You can't make that move. So Lamar Jackson's not coming, bro.
Actually,
they have picks now.
We still have some picks.
You don't have
so
picks now.
That's what I'm talking about. So Lamar, you see this? Put the shoe on. Put the shoe on. I'll be back. I've been an NFL casual. Speaking of colluded, I buried the lead on the not list. I would like to publicly say apology for everybody here at Those Millennials for ruining KP and Darren Waller's marriage. For them moving.
No, we don't.
You know what I realized? Look, I'm not. Look,
let me get the apology out first. I like to apologize. Jesse wasn't here.
This ain't a real apology.
It's a real apology.
Let him get it out, Jesse. Let him get it out.
What I was gonna say is.
Oh my God. You can say it after I say it. Let me.
How you fucked up, right? How you fucked up, right? Go ahead.
So I would like to apologize, and Clips too, who's not here. Shout out to Clips. Thank you, Clips. I would like to publicly apologize here at Those Millennials for having a small, minuscule part in having the Raiders send Darren Waller to New York City. It was not Jarrell smiling. It was not warranted. It was not expected. Even though I joked about it on the pod, I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Who cares?
Shout out to KP. And again, I'm going to say what I said. A lot of people came at me and was mad about what I said, and they thought what I was saying was really sexist. And all I'm saying is Kelsey Plum, now the face of Under Armour women's shoes, who's going to get her own signature shoe, most likely, if she plays well this season. Stay healthy the entire season. Jesse, that's not bad. I didn't say nothing crazy. I hope you stay healthy. I hope you have a healthy WNBA season, the entire season. I want you to make All-Star. I want you to win MVP. And I want a back-to-back championship. All right, Jesse, the floor is yours.
Here's what I would say is, you know where you fucked up at now?
Where I fucked up
now at? Waller has a limited amount of time. He gonna be trying to get there before he get out, and then when she come to visit, he gonna be trying to get it in before she got to go back home. And when he come to visit, he gonna be trying to get it in before he.
I don't know what goes. Look, look. That is a married couple. I would never tell them to not have her body, her choice, Jesse. But all I'm saying is for her to.
You're the one that don't want her to get pregnant.
I didn't say that. See, you did that. I didn't say the word. You said that. I didn't say that.
Life.
All I said was. All I said was. I want her to have a healthy WNBA season, the entire season. I think she can I think she can average over 23 points this season. I think she can lead the league in assists. I think she can win MVP. I think all this is in her, and I think this is capable. Her body, her choice. Whatever her and her new husband decide to do is their business. And me, as a Las Vegas Aces fan,
that's where you fucked up, Cap. You fucked up. You didn't want her to get pregnant, so
I didn't say that. Why are you guys putting that on me? I didn't say that.
And now they gonna be trying to get it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Now you fucked up. That's where you fucked up, Cap.
I didn't say that. Anyway.
Anyways, move on, man.
Put that on me, just like Jarrell put that on me last week when I didn't say it.
You sure did do that.
I didn't say it. Anyway, still Ladies Appreciation Month. Anyway, so Ja interview. So it came out yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was most likely. So they showed the clip of the Ja interview.
I don't think the whole thing has come out yet. I think it's still just
clip. No, it came out. It's 20 minutes. I watched it. The full interview came out. But it came out yesterday. If it didn't come out yesterday, it came out the day before. Ja suspension was 8 games, which he already served. So he only gets 2 games added on to his suspension, which Rel was not happy about.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because he wasn't suspended by the league. For 8 games.
So he did an interview with Jalen Rose, which I thought was not great, and I can tell you guys why I didn't think it was great. If you guys want me to start, but 20-minute interview with Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose had the most poignant supportive message that came out on one of the NBA countdowns that everybody supported. I thought what he said there was awesome. And then Ja, which we was talking about before we turned on these mics and we hit record. Ja went up there and did he did some damage control. Talked about how he's seeing therapists. He said therapists, multiple therapists. He's doing anxiety breathing. He's talking to people. He's reevaluating his friends around. He said a lot of stuff. But did you guys want me to start talking about the stuff I didn't like, or did you guys want to touch on it first?
No, go.
Okay. So for me, and I know I already know the answer to one of these things. So, well, let me start by saying this. I feel like Stephen A when I do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think Jalen Rose is great. I think he is. Yeah, I know. You know what? I'm doing it right, so I'm doing it. I think Jalen Rose is great. He's like at least for halftime shows, he's been the consistent one that stayed. He's had a whirlwind of different hosts around him from when Bill Simmons was there and Wilbon was is there off and on, to all the changes between when Beetle was a host, and just a plethora of different changes around him, and he's been the constant. He's been really good at his job. Obviously he's the God hairline guy, but I just didn't think this was the right spot for him to be the one questioning Ja Morant in this situation. While he does host NBA Countdown, not host. He's a big part of NBA Countdown. What they do, he's not a legit journalist by trade. So I feel like the questions that were being asked to Ja weren't the right questions to ask him. I'm sure he probably went around and asked his media members around him and was like, "Hey, I got this." Ja says because an interview of this magnitude after what had happened to Ja Morant, I'm sure ESPN was like, "Hey, we want to do a sit down with you for your damage control. Who do you want us to send?" And I'm sure through the Rolodex, normally like you would want to get somebody like Wilbon because he's have experience, at least for me, because like you see how LeBron does it, or somebody of Chris Paul's caliber, or somebody they'll want an OG, legit, especially black journalist that's gonna shoot straight and ask the right questions and not feel like they're trying to get a got you moment, right? Now, while Jalen Rose, I don't want to accuse Jalen Rose of trying to do a gotcha moment with him because I don't think he did, but I do feel like when he was asking questions, I feel like, especially the one where Ja Morant did not answer, when he asked whose gun it was. And Ja just basically said it wasn't my gun and it's not my character. And I understand why he has to do that because you don't want to put that on anybody. You don't even want to put that on anybody in your entourage. I get it. I just feel like I don't want to say he threw him softballs because that's not it either. I just feel like there was a way if somebody of Jay Donde's caliber was there, I feel like it would have gone differently and we would have got more out of it. But yeah, there was another thing too that I didn't like, but I can't remember. But yeah, I talked enough. You guys talk about it and what did you guys feel about how I felt, what I said about it? Because I don't know if Rel, did you watch the interview in its entirety in the 20 minutes?
Yeah, I watched it all.
And I know Jesse, you just saw the clip. So Rel, what did you think of it? And do you agree with what I said to say, or do you feel like Jalen did a good job?
I mean, I just didn't like. I overall from the situation, I just feel like it's just the PR. Just step by step. There was a report just the other day that we weren't even sure if we were going to see him again.
Yeah.
Then there was a report that he was at a facility that he checked into.
12 hours later.
And we heard that he was meeting with Adam Silver. And then the same day we meets with Adam Silver, he's already got this interview lined up. Like
it's real Jimmy-esque. I'm just playing. Keep going.
Kudos to the management of him for lining everything he set up. But this
the league,
who he is.
The league clearly played a part of this. The team clearly played a part of it.
Yeah.
They're all into
Nike probably had a hand in it too.
He fucked up 2 weeks before the playoffs, and the playoffs are a cash cow, and the NBA not about to lose that money. So they basically told him, Ja, get your shit together before the playoffs. And however, the little quick misstep that him in the league, like everything seemed like the league kind of like wink, may have told them like this is what he needs to do to try to make it seem. But the whole thing is me as a person, like he said, first thing I noticed, he said the narrative that's created. First off, Ja, we didn't create no narrative. You created that. Second off, when you keep talking about you keep referring to yourself in the third person, it's like it kind of just lets me know you still don't get it. And then third person is who you are. You ain't got to prove shit to me, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. I like the way you dunk the basketball. So so whoever you trying to fool,
but that's you. But he is a role model to younger generation. Keep going though.
That whoever he's a role model to, and whoever finds him role model, more kudos to you. I will look to other players like Stephen Curry and somebody else that like the whole thing. Here's the thing about it is that even if you not that guy, the image of the shit that you do just goes a long way. LeBron did just the other day. Like LeBron may not sign every autograph, but the shit that you catch him doing is positive. So it just looks better. You about to lose a whole bag over waving the gun because you're not going to make the NBA All-Pro,
All-NBA.
It may be All-NBA team this year. So you're going to lose out of possibly $30 million. Powerade already frozen your shit. Black man, we are not in the business of losing the bag. We're in the business of getting and keeping the bag and being an entity and being a business and being the job
growing the bag.
Generational wealth.
Growing the bag.
So I don't give a fuck about, who the fuck he sat down with. I don't give a fuck about his apology. Honestly, I shake my dick at his apology just like he shook his dick at his league. So I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All that shit is just bullshit to me. Just do whatever it is you're going to do. Just dunk the ball. Honestly, bro, but my best
dunk the ball. You just gave him a shut up and dribble.
No. Just do enough. No. Well, what I'm saying is just do enough to where I can just see you do
or maybe
that.
In this case, I think it is a shut up and dribble.
because the whole thing is the whole thing is like when you're moving as an entity, you can either keep doing what you're doing. I mean, there's a fine line between like NBA players, how they grew up and like they not growing up like they grew up making shelter, but a lot of them grew up around people who don't have a lot of shit. All I'm saying is just do enough you can stay on the court. Because I don't give a fuck if you were a good or bad person off the shit either way. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me. Because this whole Fugazi shit that you just pulled off, and like it don't impress me or make me not like you any less. All I just say is I hope you're making the right step, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, that shit's gonna come back, bro. Like people, you may try to hide it, you may try to cover it up, but at the end of the day, you're only fooling yourself. Because if you're not committing yourself to the proper things you need to do to make you put yourself in the best position, you either end up in jail or you're gonna your career's not gonna go as well because you're not training and you're not putting the proper things in your body.
Yeah, man. I don't, y'all both hit on the points. I can't really add much to it. I wouldn't say that Jalen asked bad questions. I just don't think he asked questions that were going to lead to legit answers, which is fine. What he says, whose gun is it?
I remember the part that bothered me. When he was asked multiple times, Jalen asked him, he went through all the incidents that was alleged. Jalen asked him about the Pacers and where him and his people, that was reported allegedly that a red beam was pointed at his car. And Josh just said, hey, these things are done. I can't talk about these, but I'm just trying to move on, yada, yada, yada. Then Jalen asked him again about the situation at the mall with his moms. And he was just like, again, I can't talk about that, but
that's my mom.
That's my mom. That's my mom's. I pulled up. You know what I'm saying? And I made sure my mom was good, and then I was out. And then another situation where basically the same thing, where his sister called him, and that's my sister.
I didn't know about that one.
But John, why you gotta go?
I mean, look. Here we go with that. I never got a chance to talk about this whole thing. Y'all did.
Yeah.
That was my thing. What Rel exactly said. Why, if you are the cash cow, why are you being called? Why are you or even, okay, that's fine. Even if you are called, you send somebody. That's it. That there was no reason why you go up there. This ain't even like acting like a thug or any of those things. Yes, something going down with all of us. Anything going down with our family member, yes, we're all there, right? Especially when we was young. Yes, we're all there. Difference between us and him. We're not NBA players. And even then, before we go down there, I'm pretty sure we like, yo, do we need to go down there? What's up? And then we make the move.
But see, I feel like we was going to talk about this for long, but because like you said, you didn't talk about this, but his family has a part to play too, because like, why are you guys calling him?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I keep saying. Like,
why do they feel the need to call you, and why are they not calling your dad? Yeah. Why are they not calling T Morant?
To handle the situation.
Why are they not calling T Morant?
Oh, like that's where I'm like, that's not where they try to say that's thug behavior or he's acting like it. It's just one of those things where it's like, you make a call, yeah, I'm gonna want to handle this. The problem is, why are they calling you? Or why are you handling it?
That says something about his dad, right?
Yeah.
That says something about his dad to me.
That says something about his dad to me. I'm not a millionaire, but in my family, if something was going down, hell, even my cousins would be like, "Why the fuck are you sending Rail down there?" My cousins, or they've done some things in their past, but they'd be like, this nigga's doing well with his life. So if something go down with my mama, my cousins would be there and be like, no, Rail, you stay back because you're doing something right now. I possibly could go back to jail probably 2 or 3 more times. Everybody got that in their family. So if people do that for me and my family, I know damn well Ja can do that for him and his family. There's 2 or 3 cousins that can do. Okay, I'm gonna go handle that. I'm gonna be off the guard security for you. Go ahead.
And that's the simple thing about it, where it's like, yo, like, why is nobody telling? When your mom calls you, how come your mom is saying, can you send somebody? Not you show up.
And we're not blaming you, Mama Duran. We're just saying, like, we're just talking.
I'm just like, those are things where it's like, why is that? Like, I'm not saying don't go handle it.
Why am I the first call? Why can't I be like the second call?
Or he
or the
could
third
be
call?
the first call. He could be that. Like you could be the first call because you got security.
Yeah.
Or you got dude that will go down there and handle the situation. So that doesn't matter about being the first call. It's just about how it goes about being handled. If I call my son and be like, yo, can you send somebody down here? They tripping. And I'm on my way, Dad. No, you stay there. Send somebody. Mm-hmm. That's it. Or if you come in, stay your ass in the car. Mm-hmm. Don't, because it's like one of these things where
then you really playing my boss because he just rolled down the window and be like, yeah, is it handled? I'm just playing, keep going.
Yeah, but
I'm just kidding.
But that's the situation. But my thing is this: it's like the reason why I say that is stay in the car is because the moment you step into it, it becomes that much higher profiled. Mm-hmm. Like you cannot be that. Like the more you show your face, and this goes for when we watch
like Sean Kemp shooting at having a shootout in broad daylight.
I'm just at like. We watch mob movies. We watch American Gangster. The moment Frank Lucas showed up with the jacket, what happened?
That was his girl's fault. Look at you.
It don't matter whose fault it is. For the jacket, all eyes became on him, right? The more you put a higher profile on yourself, and that's not to say that's what truly happened, but the idea of when you bring eyes to you, you are asking for more trouble. And that's what it is, Ja. When you pulling out this gun in a strip club, you are asking for more trouble. When you doing it on live, you're asking for more trouble. You can have a gun in a strip club. Ain't nobody saying you can't. But when you're doing it on live, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is your mindset that you need to show people what you're doing? Like you are adding to your thing. That being said, we're past all of that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the questions weren't bad questions. It was you weren't asking questions that would lead to answers, to true answers.
Like I said, it was literally damage control.
Yeah, when you asked these questions about incidents, you knew he couldn't answer these questions. He couldn't answer the question about
whose gun it was.
He couldn't answer the question of whose house or what happened at your house because that is a ongoing case. That's a civil case. He can't talk about that. He can't talk about what happened with his mother. He can't talk about these things. So when you're asking those questions, it's one of those things that a journalist, or when you say a journalist would probably ask it in a way that would lead to understanding.
They have the savvy to ask in a way to get an answer that's a non-answer.
Understanding. No, it's not even really like a non-answer. It's an understanding. So
and maybe, like I said, for us, Wilbon's that guy. Like our generation,
why are
Wilbon's
you
that
the person
guy.
getting called?
Yeah,
they would probably ask that question. Like, why are you the person getting called?
Why are you the call? Jalen didn't ask that.
Why do you feel the need to go to? I think Amina Hassan said it best. He said, "Yeah, Jalen asked him, whose gun was it? It wasn't my gun." He never followed up on that. He just moved on to the next.
Moved on.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Where a journalist, I hate saying that a journalist would do this, but a person that is more experienced with interviewing people in this situation.
There you go. That's probably the best way to say it. Because, like you said, I'm sure Jalen's done. I'm sure Jalen's done interviews, but this is like the first one I've ever seen. I don't remember any interviews. I don't remember.
Oh, he's done this one in particular. No, he's never done an interview like this. Not that I know of, but. Just in the sense of just doing interviews. Yeah, he knows how to interview a person, but none of his interviews are on this magnitude of seriousness.
That's what I said.
It's like one of
that interview is going to be seen, post. That's going to go on CNN. That's going to be everywhere. That's why I said for me, I would have decided to go with somebody with more seasoning in that realm instead of, again, no disrespect to Jalen Rose.
My question is this, because he was going to go to a player no matter what. He was going to go to
maybe he felt comfortable going to player. Maybe that's
what these guys do now. Gotcha. Where it's like, I don't trust journalists, I trust players. Why you would trust them more than you would trust a journalist? I don't know. They're all
okay. Then if that's the case, now I'm thinking like if you was to choose a player,
my question is who do you
is
think
the top of the totem? Who would be if we're going with players? Who would have been the best player to do that?
You know who would have really been good?
Matt Barnes is really good now. But
Matt Barnes is good.
Is good. I don't know.
And it would have been one of those things that I've been in trouble type of thing. So he can ask. Yeah, you know what I mean? He asked good questions. You know who would have been
I don't think KG's
No,
that
KG's
right now.
not.
He's not that right now.
You know who I think
Definitely
who would have
not
been good?
Perk.
But
JJ Redick would have been good, but there's probably not
I don't think this is
there's no
yeah.
relationship. There's no relationship there like
And I don't
that.
think he wants JJ for that. You know, I think he can't do it because he's still in the league. But CJ McCollum would have been good.
CJ would have been good.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if CJ would have been able to pull that. No, because you still got to compete against CJ, like you said. Yeah, since he's still in the league.
That's why I said he's still in the league. He can't do it. He can't do it. CJ would have been asking him to get him.
I mean, I guess you wanted to give it to ESPN, but like, why not go to Ernie Johnson? Like, I feel like Ernie would have been. Ernie would have been perfect. Why don't you go to like Turner and do it? Ernie would have. I think Ernie would have done a hell of a job and got the right questions, put the right eyes on it, and done. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it is most players usually go to TNT to do this.
I think Ernie would have been the right guy.
Ernie, I think they probably would have.
But again, not a player. But
Reggie
Miller
could have did it.
No.
I mean, so. Reggie Miller. What the reason why I said what I'm just saying for TNT, the lineup they have.
Oh, okay.
Not I was just saying, but it's like one of those things. But they would have prepared Reggie Miller for the questions. Mm-hmm. I don't think Reggie Miller would have went in there trying to ask his own question. Now, did Jalen do a bad job? No. I just think that the attempt to get answers to things that it's like, hey, we're gonna ask you these questions, and he probably said, yeah, that's fine, but he knew he wasn't gonna answer it. Like from the first answer, it just was so PR that whose gun was it, and.
That was that wasn't the first question. That was literally, I want to say, like the fifth or sixth question.
From the clip, it's like, that's such a PR answer because he was like, it wasn't my gun, but that's not the job, and he started saying other things, and it's like, yeah, but he's not asking you about any of that. We'll get to that, but you saying it's not the first question. But we can move on. I genuinely believe like all of this was like, it's such a speedy process of PR to like change the image that was coming, like because of like the media onslaught of like, oh, he's trying to be this and that, and now it's led up to this moment, and this is the climax of everything he's done, and now it's leading to this. But so they try to combat it so quickly in time for him to make it to the playoffs, like Rel said. And at the end of the day, he really just didn't have to do anything. Just take his suspension, chill, come back. When you had media availability, say, I made a mistake. It won't happen again. I can't speak about all the other issues, but I'm going to do better and be smarter and just prepare for the playoffs. That was it. You didn't need to do this big thing. You didn't need to say you're going to cancel it. You didn't need to.
I feel like a lot of people felt like he needed. I'm sure his PR felt like he needed to do this. It's like I said. I'm gonna keep saying.
Because it was.
It's a big fire. You got to start taking out the little flames. You got to start extinguishing the little shit first.
To me, it wasn't necessary. Gotcha. To me, it wasn't necessary. To me, you could have just took your suspension and sound because nobody believes that you did any of this stuff. Except meet with Adam Silver. That's it. Nobody believes you did any of that shit.
And he's going to be on the court sometime next week, so we'll see how that goes for the stretch run. All right, so we're going to come along. So I still want to kind of touch on Dame's interview with the Old Man in 3. So the Rel has some hot, fiery takes on this.
How about let's do something quick because we are running a little long because I've been fucking around. But I think this is also something that this is what he said is a conversation that can
we can take it. It's literally ring culture.
This is gonna be talked about.
We talked about ring culture. Yeah, so
we can talk about this during the off season. We can talk about this whenever. But
so
specifically the interview. Go ahead.
Yeah, so specifically the interview, great interview by JJ Redick. I know a lot of people just, again, absorbed by the clips, but again, I besides that bullshit JJ did with Kendrick Perkins, but we don't have to touch on that. But JJ does a really good job of asking questions. His interview with Dame when this is the second interview with Dame. Like, they actually talk about really cool and awesome basketball stuff up top too, about how Dame scored a 72, like how how the stuff that he did off the pick and roll and stuff is just hearing a guard of his caliber talk about that, about just what he's looking for when he's being guarded by people that, for whatever reason, still drop on Damian Lillard. Why would you ever go under the screen on Damian Lillard? But yeah, just hearing him talk about that was just, great, because it just makes me feel smarter because I'd be like, yeah, I saw that same thing that Dame saw. So it's really cool. But yeah, the takeaway for me, like I said, is just what do you consider success for a successful career? And Real, I know Real had felt strongly about this, so I'm gonna just let you spill it, Real, because we can, again, we've talked about ring culture on this pod before.
I'm not gonna go long. I'm gonna just say this. The only reason why I disagree is because when he said my only issue is when you sit, like, I have to realize that Dame comes from an era of prime time where he wasn't the number one recruit. He wasn't supposed to be here. So maybe then this is where I have to understand where Dame thinks a little bit differently from that aspect, because I saw Kevin Garnett waste his career with a part of his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, he may not regret it, or, but at the same time, all I'm going to just say is that when he said when he said, I don't like the way the league is going, I don't have a problem with the league is going, because I just feel like at this point now, your organization, either if you're not trying to win, you need to be progressing forward. And when you have the stuck in basketball, like purgatory, when you have these purgatory franchises like the Blazers, they're a purgatory franchise. They'll never get to that second level because they're just stuck in mediocrity. That's fine. You chose to stay there. You stay there. That's how your career goes. But don't say you don't like the way the league's going because people don't want to choose to invest their fucking careers in a goofball fucking franchise that'll trade their ass quicker than anything. So if I say the words "get me out of here" and I have enough clout to do so, that's fine. That's my choice. You choose to stay. You choose to stay in Portland. If I'm Anthony Edwards, I'm not staying in Minnesota 7 years.
You keep using him as the example
because he's the best player in a bad market.
I think that's the best. I think that's a great example.
That's crazy.
If I'm Anthony Edwards, I'm not trusting Minnesota with my career. Why? Why should I trust Minnesota with my career?
You're not trusting A-Rod with your career?
Yeah, you're making my point.
I was being sarcastic, bro.
No, but I'm saying you're literally making my point. Is it like I don't know how long my prime is. I don't know when I'm injury away. But should players see it out? Yeah. But if you can get to a certain point to say, "Get me out of here," maybe with proper compensation, or even when you do it a year, so where teams could even get something for you, I'm respecting that because you're telling them, "Hey, I'm not liking what the fuck y'all doing. Get me out of here." Even if you're doing with a year or on your contract and you can get something, fine, even better. The Nets made out better with this KD trade. The Pelicans made out better after Anthony Davis. I'm just saying, just because you choose to sit there, don't have this fucking I don't like the way the league's going type shit where it's like, bro, nobody's playing. You don't play, Dame. Like, stop with the bullshit.
Does you have anything that?
I mean, I agree with what majority of what Rel's saying. I don't think. Here's what I say. All right, here's the best way I can put it. I sent y'all the clip of Richard Jefferson and Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Which
one of my pods did the stats on that. He's only scored 40 points once against Richard Jefferson. But continue.
I mean, he still did it.
Once.
He still did it.
One time.
Look what you just did. Dame only scored 72 points once. like we can make that argument about anybody doing something.
No, that's different. But if he made it individual.
No, it's not,
Paul Pierce made it an individual thing with Richard Jefferson. That's why it's different.
Yeah, but Richard Jefferson made it a team thing because the only thing Richard Jefferson can argue.
It's a team sport.
Okay, so boom. It's a team sport. Now, you just made my argument.
Okay.
Now, you are sitting there, you made me and Rel's argument. When you sit there and try to say, I don't like where the league is going, you have not been given a good enough team your entire career. a good enough team. Hey, they have not built correctly around you at all. Their picks have been bad. They've made poor trades, and he's in what? Rebuild 3, 4? Mm-hmm. And what they do? They extended him. Gave him that much more money. You could say, oh, he wants guys to come play with him. He wants guys to come play with him. If the team cannot make that happen, what is going on? You're not building the assets correctly. You could pull off a trade to go get KD. What happened? You didn't have the assets. That means you didn't. How do you not have the assets? You're not building your team correctly.
Why does Chicago have your protected pick?
What is going on? So if you're an organization for this long, you're telling me I'm going to keep playing for this team, believing that they're going to do something for me that they have yet to ever do. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about here?
That's like me going to work thinking they're going to actually promote me to something. Like, it's like, come on.
Thank you. That's what it's like.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Yo, like, you know what I mean?
This shit ain't Willy Wonka. This
you know what I'm saying? So that's my thing where he sits there and says, like, I'm not telling you to go chase a ring. The idea is, I'm getting tired of it. Oh, I want to go to a better situation becomes ring chasing. It's not necessarily ring chasing for every player. When Russ left OKC, we can all agree it was over and done with OKC. It was time for him to go. They needed to make that move. But you sit there in Portland and look, he made way more money for that organization than they have ever paid him. And yet, they have not repaid him by giving him a good enough team or making good enough moves to get him a player of his caliber or more.
Let me ask you this. Is it ring chasing if Harden goes back to Houston and and Philly don't win the championship and he helps him be? Is that ring chasing? If Dame is on the Sixers next year?
No, it's not. It's not ring chasing to me. It's not. Because we all know it takes 2 to 3 players of that level to win one. We know it takes that much. It's rare that it doesn't. It's rare. You know what I mean? So it's like one of these things where it's just like, and honestly, let's really be honest about this right here, right now. He gets a big pass in Portland because, number one, they know they're a bad organization. It's also Portland. And it's the fucking latest team to be playing on the West Coast. They played the latest. The Clippers played the latest. If Dame was on any other team, Dame was on in New York, it would be like, well, how come Dame hasn't won a championship yet? If Dame was in fucking LA, it would be the question of what's going on? Does Dame need help? Why is he not getting over the hump? It would be all those conversations. He gets that pass. Jokic gets that pass. They all get that because of where they play. And I'm not saying Dame can't handle all of that. I'm saying that says a lot about your organization when your organization is not doing well enough to get you over the hump. Or they are doing well enough and you're not getting over the hump. Which one is it?
Well said. Well said. You guys want to move on to all right. What? You guys making points? We're going along.
We can be done. But is there no meat on that bone?
There's nothing I'm gonna say to change you guys' mind, man. Just Dame's.
I just want to hear what you have to say. Answer that. Is there no meat on that bone?
Like you said up top, Dame's different. Like you said, he came from Weber State. You said it himself. He's not supposed to be here. He already is recognized as one of the, going to be one of the greatest guards in the generation, top 75. Obviously, all he's missing is the accolades of going to the championship. And Jesse, you guys are right. He is in an organization that, for the most part, hasn't put the right pieces around him. No argument there. They let the CJ thing ride too long. Agreed. No argument there. They don't talk about Terry Stotts. Get the fuck out of here.
CJ, what was the setter that they had for the longest?
Man, look, can I talk? I let you rock for this entire time, Jesse. Let me rock.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I would venture to say is that 20. I forget the year when it was Batum, Aldridge, Wesley Matthews when he played his best year, Damian Lillard. That was the best team that Dame ever played on. That team was championship caliber, but after Nick Batum got hurt, it didn't the balls didn't shake right. Okay. And I do think ever since the late great Paul Allen, God rest his soul, passed away, the organization's been in flux. That just they've done a really good job of.
The
organization's been in flux, and they just haven't. I think they've done a good job. I think they've done a good job of concealing it. But obviously, his daughter, who's taken the reins of the organization, and also the Seahawks, if I remember correctly, right? She's the head of Seahawks too.
I thought that was a family thing, but maybe she is.
I think it's an Allen Family Trust thing. I don't know how it ran. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't either.
But she's already said that, the team will be for sale. She just doesn't know when. It's just when a estate this big of Paul Allen's it's going to take a while. And I think once she said that, you can just kind of tell that this organization just kind of been just not been taken care of the way it should be. But I go to say that just Dame is just he is that dude. He's just loyal as hell. No free agents want to go to Portland. So like when Jesse made the thing where he said that if Dame was in New York, well, you can't say that because free agents would come to New York if people want to play with Damian Lillard. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to play with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard's great enough. He's a point guard where he scores, he passes. There's no hole in his offensive game.
I agree, but that's when I said the organization.
If he was in a different market, it'd be different.
Making the moves.
I honestly think if Dame was in Atlanta, if you could pick any other market than Portland, besides obviously the Charlottes and if you put him in a second tier, put him on any of the Dallas teams, somebody will go. Any of the Texas team, Dallas team, any of the Texas teams, I think a player would want to go play with them. I think he's that good.
And don't get me wrong. If he played for the Knicks and shit.
Oh, they would love him. What?
No, I'm saying if he played for the
Knicks.
See
how they love Brunson? You think they wouldn't love Damian Lillard?
No. What I'm saying is if he played for the Knicks and if he played for the Lakers, there is no guarantee that they would know what bless you. They would know what they're doing either. I would trust the Lakers more than the Knicks, but there was no
this Knicks team is this Knicks organization is doing well. The CAA Knicks is doing pretty good.
That's 10 years into. That's 10 years into.
No, the CAA Knicks have been. How long have they have had this organization? It's like the last 4 years, 5 years.
Rose years have
been. They're new.
5 years.
It's been like 5 years. Yeah. This organization.
What I'm saying is, they're doing enough to stay afloat. What I'm trying to say is, that's almost we'll say 7 years into Dame's career, 6 years into Dame's career that it took this. It took this build. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't necessarily mean that they would have made the right moves. We've seen what New York has done up until this point. So that's what I'm trying to say. Same thing with the Lakers. We see how much the Lakers have messed up when it comes to certain things. And that's not.
Don't get real started. Don't get real started. I'm
not. See, you guys are taking it as.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
What I'm just saying.
You're not real good.
Jesse says, "Let the L word." Love.
I'm talking about their past. I'm talking about their past. Leading up to this point. So, what doesn't necessarily mean that they would have made the right moves to get. But moves would have been made, is all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it doesn't mean they would have brought in the right player. It doesn't mean that it would have worked with everything. But moves would have been made. At least I know the Lakers would do that. Shit, I don't know if the Knicks would. With Dolan there, good luck.
Donovan Mitchell wanted to be a Knick, but
I just want to say this last. They biggest fuck up is that they never sold the highest when CJ McCollum's value was at his highest.
Yeah,
they never sold that off.
I agree with that.
But I want to ask you.
But Dame has said that, like I said, he obviously he looks up to that Dirk title. Obviously, as he should. That's his shooting star. That's what he just like. That's what I strive to be. And like, yeah, every year the title goes to the team with 2 superstars, but you know that Dirk year means something. That's why it's like the outlier of outliers to a lot of players of his ilk who feel.
Can
like
I say this? We already had that Dirk championship redone. That was Giannis.
No, that team is squad. I don't care what people say. I think that team was squatted.
No. I'm not saying that the team wasn't a squad. I'm saying that high level of playing, like you being the main person that team goes because of you.
I don't know.
No, the Bucks don't win a championship without. If Giannis missed one of those, if Giannis missed 2 NBA final games, if he missed 2 of those games, the Bucks would have lost.
Agreed.
And badly.
But my again, I don't want to make this a thing, but
I'm saying what I'm trying to say is it's great that you have that loyalty, but if the team is being sold,
eventually they don't know when. She didn't put no timeline in the article that I read. There's no timeline.
I'm asking you personally, Kev. If the team is going through this and you're seeing something, because it being sold, there's been talks about that for a couple of years now. Once the team is about to be sold, would you want to be there for that?
Yes, because he's loyal to the soil.
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah.
You would want to stick around for that.
Look, man, again, I can't speak for Dame, but I will want to be there because every night I know that everybody in this building came to see me. They know I'm loyal. I'm the best player on the team, and I've created memories and generational memories to these players. And I know real people don't feel like that means anything, but that means something to some certain people, especially in smaller markets.
Something to me. It means something to me, but it also means that it's like, okay, you tell me all that, I'll take all that.
Before the Warriors title runs with Steph Curry, people really, you know how many times people bring up the fucking We Believe Warriors? That's like a golden era for them, and that happened one season. It's just
but like, what they did in that one season was something different.
Yeah, they took out 8. There was 18 that took out a 1. So yeah, it's a little different. But I'm just saying that just some runs are just looked at differently. Like again, Philadelphia looks.
He has that shot and the wave by. Yeah. He has that.
Philadelphia looks at that run that AI and McKee and Mutombo, and they ran into the buzzsaw of the Lakers. But again, for me,
that's the finals.
I know that's the finals. I agree.
But I don't even think Dame going to have that kind of run in him.
I didn't say that. I was just bringing up runs in general. I'm just saying that the people in Portland are just. I'm sure they're happy with what he got.
But I'm just saying. You remember? You always think you told me on the phone. You remember Allen Iverson's career? I said, yeah. You know what I remember? Allen Iverson also dragging a team to the fucking finals.
Yeah, agreed. A really good team that was built around him. All right, so we can't even touch on.
They were that good.
They were good. It was a team literally built around him, though. It was literally an ecosystem that was built around him.
He had to do everything.
That part. That's
you
true.
You tell me with Eric Snow.
Look, man, that team is better than the team than the LeBron dragged to the finals, and I don't care what nobody say. That team LeBron dragged to the final with Larry Hughes as the second best player is freaking crazy.
I can't say that.
Yes, there is. What?
I can't say that. Matt Harper and Tyler
Hill. Who's better, Larry Hughes or
Eric Snow?
No, not Eric Snow. Is it McKee?
They had Dikembe Mutombo on probably one of his best offensive seasons, where he actually kind of scored.
Was better offensively than
I was like, Ilgauskas.
Ilgauskas was good, but he wasn't the defender. He was. I mean, again, we're talking about back in the day, but literally a stiff.
Ilgauskas is a better offensive
literally stiff.
Ilgauskas was a better offensive player than Dikembe.
Yeah, Mutombo. But if you want to go off of player, so yes, he's a better offensive player. But if you put together what he did defensively and what Dikembe put offensively that year, Dikembe is a better player, in my opinion, because we all knew
Daniel Marshall was able to stretch the floor.
I can't believe we're arguing about this. Watch out, man. We're not doing this.
No, I asked one question. Who's better, Larry Hughes or Aaron McKee?
I like Aaron McKee better.
Oh,
kiss my ass.
He is a damn lie.
In the
pod. I'm telling you how I feel. All right, so we're gonna get to Last of Us next week because we went too long. Season finale, Last of Us. So that gives me enough time to watch it again.
Because I think there's a legit conversation in this. Personally in there. So
great pod, guys. So please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe if you made it this late in the pod. We really fuck with you. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Please rate on Apple Music. Rate on you Spotifyers. I don't even know if that's a word, but Spotifyers.
Spotify.
Jesse, you're a Spotifyer?
Yes, I am a Spotifyer.
We just created a word. All right, that's probably the name.
Because I've
never heard of that in my life.
And it's gonna become a thing. And I really don't like.
Guess what? I'm gonna name the pod that Spotifyers. Shout out to all you Spotifyers. For real,
has nothing to do with Spotify.
Yes, the pod has nothing to do with Spotify. We call that clickbait in the biz, Jesse. All right, for Jess, that's for Jess. That's real. I'm Kev. We're those millennials, and we're out.
And I'm back.